webinar. My name again is Jared Lincoln. I'm the Regional Vice President of Sales here based in Denver, Colorado. Our home office is in Jacksonville, Florida, and we've got a few extra folks from our team here on the phone call as well. So this webinar, we're really excited to go over a lot of brand new information. We're going to save an announcement for the very end. And on top of this, we will be going through some really fun features of Sound POS. Something we're really excited to do is show some of the nuances and the interesting components to Sound POS as the season, especially right now, is ramping up. We know we've heard a ton of feedback from our partners. Just, hey, how can we accommodate the solutions, providing solutions to merchants through the holiday season. This one being, more challenging than holiday seasons in the past. So we're going to touch on that and go through a couple pieces of review as well. So a couple of quick things about Sound POS for anybody that's new. We do this once a month or so, and we'll cover the quick introduction. So if you've heard this before, bear with me for about just a couple of minutes, as this will be just a little bit of a refresher. But for anyone who has not met us yet, Sound POS is a software solution, and we are a technology company. We are not an ISO. We are not a processor nor a gateway. So we do not actually facilitate processing of any kind. Now, Sound POS is an Android-based cloud POS solution for retail and quick service, small to medium-sized merchants. And we're certified and built onto PAX devices, specifically because of the cost and the setup efficiency for you as resellers and for merchants as well. So lastly, we are also processor neutral and certified to the most popular processors. So we don't dictate where you want to place your merchants. You actually can just put your merchants wherever you like to make your life as easy as possible. So moving forward here, a quick refresh as well. Through the end of the year, we have our promotion currently in place for our business recovery program. I think this is 4.0. We've been managing and really helping everyone in this industry as best as we can this year with the challenges everyone faces. And in short, for every 4 subscriptions anyone brings on through December 31st, your 5th subscription is going to be free of charge. And this will just keep revolving as more merchants come in. So just another way that we want to ensure we're working with all of our partners and you get to work with your merchants. So as it relates to just cost, it's a fun promotion. We've seen a lot of success so far and want to just make sure everyone's reminded that we're doing what we can to help everyone out. We also wanted to quickly remind everyone, kind of a quick review from where we left off on our last webinar of some of your immediate resources. Now we have some new and updated literature on our Sound Hub resource. If you're not familiar or logged in, just let your rep know. But Sound Hub is going to be everything you need for collateral, SOPs, user guides. And speaking of user guide, we just released, as of last week, earlier this week, the latest user guide and manual for Sound POS. So any features that we have updated and enhanced, any new components and features of the software have now been itemized here. We've made it much more user-friendly, easier to navigate. So if you're working with training your merchants, training your staff on all things Sound POS, you can simply just go to Sound Hub here and dive right into that resource, as well as some videos as well. So always refer back to your Sound POS rep as well for any immediate questions. We're here for pretty much the long haul. There's no just handoffs or anything else. So the person you're working with is the person who is going to be working with you from start to finish. So a really great attribute here is you're not ever handed off to tons of people throughout the process of your relationship with the Sound POS. The other thing we like to mention as well is that, of course, you've got everything from training and support and 24/7 support through those resources on Sound Hub, through our phone call, text as well. So just additional pieces to remind everybody of there. So for this webinar, to get into the fun part here, moving into the holidays, we're really going to focus on the fun parts that merchants have probably asked you for as far as assisting their business through the holidays. This is going to focus on setting up the customer-based promotions, loyalty, gift cards, returns and exchanges for the after holiday functionality, how special pricing works in several different ways. The great features of Sound POS are really deep and allow you to really customize your merchant's experience. In that, how do they want to work with their merchants? Is it version A? Is it situation B? And so forth. There's so many different layers to this that allows you to really hone in on what your merchants would like to accomplish in several different ways. So we're going to touch on them and show you what this means. So it's kind of a additional next step in our how to sell and training of the best features of Sound POS as we've done so here through our webinars this year. So we'll dive into that in just a moment. And kind of taking one step back for anybody who, again, is just learning about Sound POS, at its core, we are a simple and easy to use, feature-rich point of sale solution. We're great for everything from single to multi-location businesses with a really robust back office that can handle and track inventory and sales and reports for any size, small to medium-sized merchant amongst really any number of verticals you can think of. It's countless at this point. Now we accept all forms of payments, including EMV, especially going into the holidays, contactless NFC transactions. It's going to be really important. We can perform age verification by product and include situational sales, offering curbside checkout, home delivery, features that include setting up employee privileges, and really so much more. So as you guys run into situations in the field, bring them to your Sound POS rep. Hey, I've got this scenario. Can we work with this? How do you guys accomplish this? Can we meet this, expectation of merchants? And we'll make sure we work with you and show you how we can operate to accomplish the same goals you guys have. Now, the other cool things about this, if you haven't met Sound POS yet, we allow for multi-tax sales for municipalities or different verticals that have multiple needs of tax lines in those sales. We also allow for really robust customer data, which we'll touch on here as part of our examples and demo for Sound POS beyond the loyalty and gift features that we allow for. Let's see, this really is just a really good snapshot of some of the devices we have here as well. Speaking of devices, beyond the countertop devices, which makes this such an easy system to set up and install and quick and easy to do so with your merchants. We also are exceptional using these PAX devices, not only on the E series, but the A920. This is your mobile, your handheld unit in store for the holidays. This is going to be your line buster. It's got a camera on the back here. It's just one feature you can't see. All these devices have cameras on them. This one has one on the back, so you can still scan barcodes. And now that those lines are getting really deep into the store, 6 feet apart, however these organizations and merchants are organizing their sales space, we've seen folks time and time again lean on this A920 device for so many different business needs. And in this case, in line buster situations, take care of folks in line with that holiday rush. Scan the items, take the card, move on to the next person, get these folks moving through the line faster than just what one person at the counter can do, especially if you've got that deep customer line out the door, if you will. The other component to this as well is just to maneuver how you can present this to different verticals. This is great for everybody from mobile merchants, not just food trucks, not just curbside, but how many folks are doing deliveries, how many folks are working on furnace systems or doing shovel and landscaping activities here going into the winter, how many folks need to walk around a Christmas tree stand or are setting up a kiosk at a mall, if folks are still going to malls, or any other places in your communities where this is another device, another solution that allows for 4G, 3G, and Wi-Fi capabilities beyond just what is at the counter. So being that we can also hold transactions, a feature we'll show and discuss momentarily as well in our demo, to allow folks to be able to do everything from delivery and curbside pickup. The hybrid device here on the bottom, the E600, is great because that'll connect to a cash drawer. It'll still connect to a barcode scanner and is still 4G, 3G, and Wi-Fi as well. So just the diversity of these PAX devices and the cost efficiency in them allow you to really accommodate and meet all the different needs, not only in everyday life of these merchants, but really especially going into the holidays. The other point I want to make right before we move on is that these devices house the full point of sale. You are not hampering any experience that you would have on the countertop device by utilizing the handheld device. So a really great feature here because you don't have to pick and choose and try and manipulate how you're setting up your merchants. Now, just again, to connect with where we left off before, the value proposition for merchants. I mean, what's the easiest sell when you start talking with these folks? It's a simple solution. The setup, the install, it's quick, it's easy, it's cost effective. Not only are you able to set this up in a few days, it's not taking those weeks and those months of time just to fine tune and set up a merchant on all the different pieces that exist in the world of point of sale. This creates a very simple solution. Everything's cloud-based on these devices, including the handheld devices, so you can manage your business in real time anywhere you are. The reports are incredibly easy and effective to use, from the customer data to the employee data and general sales information that merchants will lean on throughout the course of their business. So these are just some great bullet points. We'll share this presentation so folks have these pieces to lean on. I'll also recommend, if you're just getting started, look at our September webinar where we discussed the how to sell this topics of sound POS and just going through some of these high featured points that are really so effective when you're having these discussions with merchants. Now, again, low-hanging fruit. Some of the markets that we've just found a ton of success in: the smoke shops, the vape stores, cigars, cigarettes, liquor stores. These have been incredibly successful. We just load up the inventory, make sure the merchant has the devices that they need, and it's up and running. Again, using the mobile devices, if you're not using a countertop device for the holiday season, bakeries, cafes, folks that are doing holiday goods, your holiday kiosks and mobile merchants, wherever they may lie, to have that seasonal bump in their market. You also have Christmas tree lots. I think I mentioned that before. The holiday and seasonal, merchants that are out and really trying to hone in on that. Now, after the season is done, the very tail end, don't forget fireworks. Everybody tends to think it's over right there after the Christmas season. New Year's is another great scenario of folks that have found a ton of success in fireworks stores, wherever they may lie, so folks can really bring in the new year. I think we're all looking forward to that to some degree here after 2020. But this is a list of just what has been incredibly effective. And then we're finding more and more verticals on the fringes of these kind of industries and verticals that have also had a ton of success. So what we want to do is just give you guys a good place to just start cherry picking some of these verticals that work: the specialty retail stores, the clothing and apparel accessory shops. These just make for easy targets beyond the food trucks, the quick serve environments. And we'll discuss that a little bit more as we go here as well. So that's just a quick introduction here. I am going to pivot here to our demo. Now, feel free to ask some questions if you need to. We'll open this up, especially at Q&A at the end. But if you need to type a question, we're going to be able to answer that here and monitor that on our way as well. And so this is my oh, apparently I pressed a button and it disconnected me here. So what this is my E500 on my desk here. I'll step back one quick second here. And what this is just the demo where we're going to focus on some of these special pricing features to begin with. This is going to start with the maintenance. I'll go right back into this and we'll go to special pricing. Great place to start here as we begin. And what we're looking at is different ways to really show how somebody can manipulate pricing of their store for things like Black Friday, things that are just specialty items for the holidays. Perhaps they're running a special weekend sale. Anything that really, again, allows these merchants to communicate and connect with their merchant base. Now, sales pricing here, we can do a couple of different things. we allow for percent off or a sales price off. Then you could pick any number of products, categories of inventory here. So depending upon the vertical or the type of store it is, especially if, say it's clothing, they can pick and choose what they want to add into this. We've seen some stores, depends, we've all been to thrift stores or other small retailers that allow little stickers, right? Color stickers. And they can utilize those kinds of different messaging to their merchants of what's on sale and everything through different methods. But we're going to focus right here on a couple of different features because we also allow for time-based pricing. And this is great because folks can then pick and choose where and when and how they want these items to expire for the sale. So Black Friday, if they want it to start directly on Friday, or I guess in these days, folks are starting on Wednesdays and Thursdays beforehand as well. They can pick and choose exactly when they want that date to operate. They select it, and then from there, they're able to pick the time and everything directly into when they also want it to end. So, hey, this is a 24-hour flash sale. All the items I select in this are then going to be applied to this flash sale. And as soon as that time is up, it's going to expire. The prices are going to be justified right back into the system. The logic will move it to full price. So folks can build their cart and they can have those pieces in place as well and have that saved to then check out later. Again, saved and held transactions is incredibly useful. One feature as well with specialty pricing that's been incredibly effective is the bulk pricing. So buy two, get your third one at a different price. And you can set these limitations to what products need to be effective here as well. And then further, in a similar kind of happy hour based pricing, start time, end time, you can create that, flash sale, that weekend, come in and get everything you can at a specific price or percentage off. You can set this up for different items in the cart as specifically as needed. So this will allow folks to really ensure that this is a solution and a point of sale system that can really accommodate and have logic built in for the sales pricings they want to employ. This can all be accomplished on the back office or on the point of sale. So the redundancy here allows folks to ensure they can utilize a system in the way that works best for them. So moving on, this is going to then move to yes, we will discard changes. The global price change. We know that during holidays or different times of the year, folks will find that they have to adjust our pricing in different ways. So we can do so by all items, category, select items, depends upon what kind of vertical they are, if they need to do all of their inventory or just part of it. And they can change the cost by an amount, by a percentage. Did some of their costs go up or go down? And they can allow the ability to move and adjust their inventory with a couple touches of a button. You do not have to have merchants struggle through going through every single inventory item to adjust the price and then further have to go back in to readjust it. This is a simple one-touch method to allow folks to properly work with their inventory, to properly set pricing as they need to. So the task of allowing sales pricing and different ways of helping merchants accomplish their goals with their customers can be met here in a multitude of ways. So we wanted to show this off because there is not just one size fits all for these merchants. We know that very well. The other portion we're going to utilize here is price level. This is one of my favorite features because if you work with retailers and boutiques and stores that work with the community, now you get a chance to put in really any type of different method to assign the customer database and allow their customers extra discounts, right? Now, this is above and beyond loyalty capabilities. You have everything from friends and family. How do you want that to reflect differently than, say, a club or an executive club or being a member, just being a friend of the business, those kinds of things. And if I need to add one, yesterday, I think we're all very well aware this was Veterans Day, so we can do a veterans discount. And then a percentage off. We're just going to do 25% off for veterans because we love our veterans so much. And now we have a brand new, price level that I can go into my customer database and assign this to anybody as needed. So that way we can easily ensure we take care of the customers that come to my business. Now, this is important because I believe strongly a business thrives by interacting with their community and really with their customer base. We want your merchants to have as many ways as possible to connect with their customers. This is just another way to accomplish that. So this is easy to set. That can be customized, changed, and adjusted. And we have folks that do currently an executive club and a club kind of level of their customer database, so they can really show, hey, if you want to pay a little bit more, for example, at a cigar lounge, I will do something for you, like give you a credit to my store. We can allow for that credit to be monitored the entire way during its use, for that customer redeeming that particular credit throughout the entire sales cycle with our reports. So it's really easy for folks to use this and go a little bit further to really extend how they work with their clients. So folks can use this all as much or as little as they need to. And this really helps out with those particular conversations and really that capability of flexibility you want when it comes to what's going to meet the goals of your merchants through the holidays. Now, one thing I like to show as well, we'll go to settings here, receipt setup. And the reason I like this a lot is because we want to show the dynamic capabilities of Sound POS. We allow for branding on here. So this could be your branding, this could be your logo, it could be the customer's logo in different places in the back office or on the point of sale dashboard. Now, when we work with merchants, we would love to see their logo on these things. It really, again, attaches them to their customers. The customers can easily spot that receipt. But the messaging is important. Thank you for shopping at Bad Wolf Retail. If I go to the footer here, you can see, become a member for exclusive discounts. And that's where I would apply those pricing levels as soon as somebody becomes a member to my store. This can be customized. Again, you saw the placement is really easy to handle here as well. As folks want to, change this, you can set this up on the back office. And then you can customize your receipt as needed. In this case, I'm a huge fan of having the barcode on our receipt. So especially when we discuss those after holiday activities, hey, I've got this shirt and I need to exchange it. Wonderful. Let's bring up that sale right here by using the barcode. I don't have to type anything in. I can go right to that sale. Let's exchange it. Let's refund, whatever those activities are. So just one feature again here that makes the merchant's life so easy when it comes to using the point of sale to benefit their business. This is another feature of that. Number of receipts, that's going to be important for folks that need to add an extra copy. But also I'm a huge fan of having this all accessible on email. Let's email your customers. Let's make sure they can pull this up because receipts get lost amidst the wrapping paper, amidst all the different going on to the holiday season. If you can just look up, hey, I know where the store is that I got this item from, pull it up, immediately have that in your own network of your saved emails. It's much easier to always go back to those the messaging or pull this up for any exchange or refund purposes as needed. So moving on, we are going to focus on our customers here. And this is actually one of my very favorite pieces of the entire point of sale solution. Again, as I mentioned, I'm very, very emphatic that that customer relationship really drives business. Now here, I want to show off a couple quick things that's important for merchants. This information is accessible in the back office, but you can see that we show the email addresses of those customers to merchants, and this is their information. We're not charging anybody for this. Nobody has to have special requests to access this. The merchant information is theirs. It's easily accessible in the back office. This is important because not only can you search your customer database very easily, but we also allow for, and what makes things really easy, is the tracking of those sales through your customer. So I went to this particular customer here, and you can see immediately that we have an assigned price level to this person. This, we'll call this my favorite Aunt Donna, and she's friends and family. But you can see that the veterans label that we just published is right here, ready to go. So let's just say my Aunt Donna was part of the military. We thank her for her service and we want to extend a special discount. This is just how easy it is to apply these particular types of pricing levels to these customers, especially as easy as it is to just build a customer through the sales screen. That's very simple to do. You can apply these pricing promotions and these special level pricings right there on the fly. I can also add additional discounts off to customers if I want to do this manually. So I don't necessarily have to always apply a price level. Merchants can choose, again, how this fits them and their customers the best. So we want to always focus on that because you can accomplish different goals in a couple of different ways. Now, a couple things to point out. Again, the email address, this is great for the receipts. This is great to be able to communicate with merchants. So now I can go to the back office, take all these email addresses, put this into a mail campaign and email folks, hey, I have a Black Friday sale. Hey, come see me for Small Business Monday. All these different events going on. This is an easy way for merchants to communicate all these events, all these promotions, all the going ons of their business, whether it's clothing, whether it's holiday stores or anything else, to their customers. Let's drive that customer business in this holiday season. It's especially going to be important. A couple of other unique things about this before I move on to the next feature, because I again want to just show exactly how effective this is. Here you can see the loyalty points. Again, as we mentioned, when you're building a customer into the system, you can attack all these components. You get to build a loyalty program as you like. So how many points are earned for dollars spent? How many points need to be achieved before X dollars are given as a credit to the merchants during, or the customers during that sale, so they can customize this entirely as they need to. I do 2 points per dollar spent, and or half of a point per dollar spent, however that particular situation wants to be addressed by the merchants. How fast do they want this to be accrued? And then at 1,000 points, I'm a liquor store, should be simple enough to achieve over a course of time. With my customers, you get $10 off, right? Easy point per dollar spent, or however that needs to be adjusted. Those can all be set at levels that they pick and choose. So a great way to see this. Now, the other thing I'll point out when we get to the sales screen is just how easy it is to see this. You get to answer those questions of your customers. Hey, you're getting your bottle of wine for Thanksgiving dinner, and you are getting really close to your next threshold for points. You get to see this information right there on the sales screen nonetheless. So you get to have that conversation, that talk track with your customers as a merchant, as a clerk, very easily. As we discussed earlier, you get to apply credit to a merchant as well. So say as an executive member, I'm going to give somebody $50 to their account. They can then redeem this during the sales as well. And because of how we track the customer information, we can see the type of transaction and all the different sales these customers make. So should somebody use those points and redeem those points or loyalty transaction capabilities, I can go to any transaction, see exactly what they purchased, some shirts here. Great, so probably buying some presents for their family through the holidays. I can see that there was a discount applied to this particular purchase. I can see the payment method was cash, or if it's credit card. I can see the loyalty points and everything else that goes on with this merchant's customer through the entire process. Again, important because as merchants come up, hey, I bought this and I want to know what was that bottle of wine that I purchased. It was so great. We want it again for this year's Christmas dinner or friends, and I want to give this as a gift. You can go through and specifically pick out what those items were in a sale, and I can specifically say, hey, it was this particular piece, and here's exactly what those components were in that sale that you purchased. So that customer interaction can be incredibly impactful for these merchants to then accommodate the request, or during the return process. Hey, it's 30 days after the holidays and I need to return this particular polo or this stress ball. It just isn't working. I can pull up and then void or return and reprint receipts right here from my customer file. So this is just another way where if you don't pull up the barcode of the sale directly, you can go to your customers specifically and drill into their favorite sales, their interaction with the business very easily. So again, driving those relationships drives customers back into the business. Again, and now if you're using the A920, if you're doing mobile and delivery services or appointments because you are furnace repair, you are a shoveling snow and you're getting your appointments, you can build the address here of your customers. That's easily accessible from the device. So as you're making your delivery, hey, what address is it again? Is it 123 or is it 124 Main Street? You can easily find that information for the sales that you have to accommodate. And then finally, notes. The person came in, they love this particular bottle of wine and they love to share it with their friends. I can type those notes in here very easily, and it was the red bottle of wine and Now my system is saved, and that's all ready to go. So we now have a brand new profile here. So that is the customer screen. This is some of our favorite features here as we continue through these just features that, again, will allow folks to really develop that relationship with their customers. Now, we're going to go to the fun part here, the sales screen. And one thing we love to show off here, beyond any of the other features, I'm going to go right back to the customer interaction. Here, a one-touch button is really a make or break feature for merchants. They want to accomplish things as easy as possible. We really take the complexity out of point of sale systems. I can hit search and here's my entire customer database. Or I can go back and I can do partial information. So a phone number, what's the last four of your phone number? 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm sure that's in here somewhere. And it pulls up this particular person. It's a very easy way to use partial information to accomplish lookup very, very quickly. Last name, first name, last four of the phone number. How do your merchants need to work with their customers quickly? Very easy to do. Now, a couple of items as we discussed. Quick line of sight to the loyalty points. Hey, you're 96 points away from your next threshold of, a couple of dollars off. Come back in and see us and we'll probably get you there. What kind of discounts do they have directly applied to their customer transaction, or price level as well, maximum credits involved. So again, those different features that merchants can use with their customers can immediately be spotted, so you can verify that customer and you can also confirm how they're being treated at the business. Again, very powerful, I believe. As soon as that's applied to the sale, you can see that the merchant information is here. Easy to access, very easy to confirm that information. We'll just go through a couple quick things here to introduce you to the sales screen. Here you can see Android allows for a couple of different ways to have views of things. We show all the features here versus having to do gestures. These smart devices allow for that these days on the different platforms, but we want you to be able to see that these editable features, whether it's a manager handling this with the clerks, those kinds of components here, this allows for really easy access to help and assist during the sales transaction. We also have the different categories here. Any number of categories can be applied. Subcategories can be in place for different distributors of clothing or clothing brands, liquors, beer, you name it, different vendors. And so that way I can have beer and have my different vendors under Coors, under Anheuser-Busch, or different cigarettes and other items, and that way I can pull reports in the back office to get a better line of sight of anything I need to reorder, and I don't have to drill into specific items. I actually can get a very summarized line of sight through our categories. So this is really important because I can easily pick and choose between these depending upon the store I have and depending upon the inventory. But we also show that if you utilize cash discounting, which has been a very, very important feature this year, above and beyond the different pricing initiatives you have with your merchants, you can see these items right here on the display for the inventory items at a glance. I can see that there's two different prices here, so I can answer questions to my customers on the fly. Again, in the holiday season, you have a line of customers, you want to be able to answer those questions very quickly. So as I actually add items to the cart, you will also see this one has some features to it. If I'm scanning them, they're just going to come right in, but different attributes that I can select here, I can put into the cart. I can see exactly what's being ordered. This also reflects to the customers on the customer display screen as well, where they would check out and enter any PIN debit information on the glass, those kinds of things as well. But you can see that the pricing here will show the cash discount amount as well as the credit amount, and I can see that through the entire transactional process. The customers can see this so they can decide how they want to pay. Again, making life very easy and fast during the checkout process. In the holidays, if something goes slow, folks know that the customers might walk out the door. So let's make sure the process is quick and easy as possible. Again, if I'm a manager, I actually may have additional capabilities that allow me to say, hey, if somebody needs to do something, say a clerk has a ding and dent or a tear on the shirt, for instance, I can go to the shirt and apply a discount. If I'm a clerk and I don't have these privileges, it'll pop up and say, hey, you need to have manager access. The manager comes over, just lets themselves in with a quick access, password, whatever they need to do to get in. And then they can just say, great, I'm going to give you 10% off. And now I can apply this to the sale. The customer can see this as well, that now this has been reduced even a little bit further. So just to show a couple quick things here through the rest of the sale, and then we'll go back into a couple of different features about how this will be impactful for the holidays and merchants that will be utilizing this. We're just going to go to show you that between cash and credit, the cash discounting features are very intuitive, easy to use. As soon as I know that that's how somebody wants to pay, I go to pay. Ask me to do this. I'm going to do an NFC transaction simply because it's faster. I tap it. It shows that I'm ready to go. Again, the email addresses are very simple. You can either enter it in directly, the pop-up keyboard, or in this case, knowing your customers makes life even faster. I'm going to send this email, cash change 0, because I did not do a cash transaction, and we're good to go. Couple of simple features, again, to make merchants' lives very easy. If I'm doing curbside, if I'm doing delivery, I can take these transactions. I'm going to build this card up again real quickly here, and we can save these transactions very easily. So we're going to do customer, we'll do Jared, and this is going to be curbside pickup. I can print a receipt if needed for somebody to hold on to. Very important, because we want to make sure folks can easily come back, pull things up, confirm what they have, or I can just hit submit. And now I can go to hold on, and I'm able to bring up all of my held transactions. You can see that Jared has a transaction here ready to go. It's curbside pickup, and I can confirm exactly what was being ordered, so that way everything was met appropriately. Hit submit, and I'm pulled right back to the cart. This is great for folks that are utilizing and extending their business with an A920, with a handheld unit, doing something to extend, just how we're all operating in commerce right now. So this is another great feature we want folks to be able to have a ton of access to. Above and beyond this, discount. This is the other feature that's really fun for us to lean on. Folks can utilize this to simply just put in some discount pricing. So again, if I have stickers, I'm a thrift store. We get those actually quite frequently. And instead of trying to put my entire inventory in here, I have my staff go around with yellow and purple and red stickers. And I'm going to have pricing for this. And one's 5%, 10%, and 15% off. I can simply just go through here and go to any item or go to the entire cart and simply apply these discounts as needed. So you can work with your merchants, again, in any style and way that they operate or want to get through the holiday season as effectively and efficiently as possible. It's really easy to do so in a multitude of different ways here. So this allows for coupons as well. It makes things really easy. If folks are doing unique bundles, right? Same a clothing store, and I'm gonna have some specialty items. I'm bundling a shirt, a belt, a pants, and a tie. So some quick Thanksgiving dress wear. Very easy to visualize, and I'm going to bundle this together, and it's one brand. I can create a specialty menu item for this, because I probably live, instead of having those items on the menu, through this manual entry screen, right? And if I need to, I could say, great, I need to put something in here on the fly. I can put as much or as little information on here as needed. I can have a default tax applied to my store or not, depending upon how somebody's using the point of sale system. So I can just simply put bundle. My price is going to be for all those items. We'll just say this one's $49.99. It's great. Quantities going to be just one bundle. Add product, and I now have that bundle of specialty item in here ready to go for my sale. So very simple and easy activities to use with your customers. And then further here on the activity screen here for the menu bar, we could see where we would do a refund, a tax exempt, or a cash drawer activity, again, with privileges allowed. So refund, very easy for after season, after holiday activity. This is very simple for folks to run up the transaction and just simply dive right in. Again, I'm a huge believer of just making everybody's life very simple. Yes, I want to go to cancel. print receipt here, you can just pull up the transaction through the barcode, or you can look it up this way as well. This is, again, above and beyond going through your reports or going directly to your customer and looking up a sale that way. So I can do an exchange, I can do a return at the couple touches of a button in this case, if I'm not just using the barcode scanner to pull the receipt information right from that barcode. So we want to give access exactly to the way that it's most effective for merchants to, again, work with their customers. So this is really the end of this particular demonstration. This highlights some of those easy and simple accessibility features and how to apply this directly. Last thing I'll touch on is you could build a customer here super easily by just add customer quickly and go through all of those components as we discussed. A couple touches of a button and you get your customers built in right away. We get a lot of questions about how easy is it to really add a customer, and it's just that simple. So very easy to do there, but we want to announce a couple quick things. A product feature that we've been waiting on for quite a while is a kitchen remote printers for quick service businesses. It's been something that we have been working tirelessly on due to the demand from all of you wonderful partners. This has been something that's been coming. So now we have instructions for this on our new user guide. And if somebody needs additional assistance, we will absolutely be happy to help dive into those particular questions. Just simply reach out to your Sound POS rep and we can dive into more details there, but something that's been asked for quite a while. Obviously right now, we want to open this up for any questions anybody has. I believe we can unmute everybody, but otherwise, you can raise your hand or type in a question and we can start reviewing them right away. Are there any immediate questions? I just saw one pop up. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. So the first one is from Joseph. We have, can a hold order be opened on a second device? Great. Okay, so we got one from Joseph here. I have to make sure I'm got the mute button working the right way. Can a hold order be opened by a second device? At this time, no. Right now, held order is dedicated to the device it was rung up on. That's actually going to be a feature we have in our to-do list, is to really just keep those held orders onto the cloud. So as soon as that feature is released, that one has also been very loud from our partners. We will be more than happy to make sure everyone's made aware of when that's immediately available. At this time, it is just on the device it's rung up on. So it's very simple to, again, just pull that right back up. That was the way it was designed at this time, but we're working on that enhancement. From Hani, we've got, does this integrate with the delivery services for QSR? What makes us really competitive is that and really cost effective for our partners is that we don't have any third parties at this time. So for QSR right now, everything's completely local. I believe folks can utilize other printers for those orders to be submitted in, and then you would have to input it into the system. So right now it would be an extra step since we are not a full-blown restaurant point of sale. We don't have any of those third-party integrations at this time for those kinds of features, but a really good question because we're getting more responses on that from our partners. So as that comes up and as we do more development, if we build a restaurant system, we will absolutely communicate how those things get worked out. But at this time, we don't have any of those solutions for those third-party situations. Any additional questions so far? Wonderful. Cost, yes. So simply put, we do a cost that we pass through directly to resellers. We don't bill merchants. For full level 1 support, 24/7, our cost is $19.95 per month per device. And then if you handle your own level 2, you get certified to handle your own level 1 support. Obviously, you need less support from us, so we actually give you a price break of $14.95 per month per device. Let's take a look here. Okay, we've got an extra chat line here. Hang on a second here. Um, Can we text a receipt? Good question, Chris. I see you raise your hand as well here. The text is a feature, SMS, that we do not have at this time. We're actually investigating it and taking a look at how that would be a feature to put in place. We don't have it currently. Everything's going to be driven by email, including how that information would be relayed for the receipts and everything. It seems to be a little bit easier for folks to handle that through not having to search through their texts for a receipt. Obviously email servers are going to be a lot easier to pull those things up. So that was how it was designed, but we are looking into SMS. As soon as something like that's available, again, we'll make sure we let everybody know very loudly, because we like to let everybody know when those enhancements are released. Are customers able to print a barcode from the terminal? Good question. At this point, we are not able to do our own custom or create a barcode kind of feature. And really the reason behind that is because there's other very cost-effective ways to create your own barcodes. You can do it even through Excel. We have instructions that we can pass on for somebody that wants to just do it themselves through really just Microsoft Excel. But also you have some really easy and cost-effective barcode label makers that exist. And so those kinds of utilities that a business can use makes it easier for them to print them out, because we don't have a printer, a receipt printer that would print out anything sticky from the device itself, obviously. So we want folks to use something more effective to be able to put that on something like an individual cigar, right? You want a label maker that's going to print that off on the wrapper more effectively than a big receipt piece of paper that doesn't have any stickiness to it. The other feature here really is that then once that barcode is created, that barcode can be assigned and put into the point of sale and attached to, given the designation of any item in particular very, very easily. So we can read any unique barcode that has been assigned beyond default barcodes, but something very easy to do, typically separate from a point of sale system. So we give folks a little bit more flexibility there. This recording, where can we access this recording? This is going to be, all over the place. We'll share it from the rep that you guys work with. We're also going to be able to put this on YouTube, on our website, on LinkedIn, so the obvious social media platforms. Another question came in: how do we get a demo? Just simply talk to either email us here after the presentation, and we'll, if you don't have a rep, we'll make sure you get in touch with somebody to start going through a demo if you need to learn more about the different features or how you guys utilize software systems with your merchants. And we have a couple of other presentations, I think, that would be pretty easy to access. Again, the one that we just did in September goes through a pretty nice high-level overview of the main features beyond a really thorough demo. Obviously, we can do one with the back office as well, but we'll just do those really independently, so we can cover the questions and the features that you want answered. Another question came in: can we purchase our own equipment and load the PAX devices through the PAX store? Yes. And the secondary part of this from Joseph was if you would buy equipment through us, and really we don't provide equipment. We have scenarios and agreements that we can entertain doing so, but to be honest, it is nowhere near as cost effective as your own resources and your own distributors. So in short, the answer to that question is that you would get your equipment, your PAX devices, all the E-Series devices and the A920 through your own distributors, the TPG, POS Portal, JR's Depot. I think there's 7 different distributors now that you can lean on. And this again coincides with how we're neutral for processing as well. So you can load your own debit keys, get those ordered. And then the secondary part of this question is part of our training, our implementation training process, just when you first sign on with us and find your pilot merchant, is to train you and your team to load these PAX devices with Sound POS. We give you access to our PAX store to do so. So a very easy way to learn how to board that. Once the software is boarded to the device, then you just customize through the back office that merchant's setup, upload inventory very easily, and those kinds of things. So it makes things very, very simple. Let's see here from Tony. Do you offer Sound POS training for sales teams? Yes, we're going to ensure that we really train not only just the tech teams on how to board and set up Sound POS, but we also extend the training to how to sell. What kind of markets are you selling to? What features do you sell? Do you sell cash discounting or not, or surcharging or not? So we customize this so you have those resources to be able to deploy, to talk to, and work with your merchants directly. We also will provide a demo for you for your pilot merchants so you guys can see scenarios and demos like this really quickly and easily. We record these sessions of training, all parts of training, so you can lean on them again. Go back and refresh you and your teams, or if you have a new hire, get them the video and then the link and make sure that they can follow along and come up to speed really quickly. And then Hani asked, is PAX available through us or do we buy it ourselves? I think we just readdressed that question here, so I'll just quickly reiterate that you would acquire the PAX devices through your normal distributors that you would buy equipment from for processing equipment and devices. So the Phoenix groups and the POS portals and so forth. So let's take a look here. Any other questions? We're pretty much right on time here and want to make sure if we got a few extra questions, we are more than happy to just keep going here. Also, we want to know, and we're really inviting this feedback, so you could take this, to your rep or communicate with us. But if there's something we're missing, something else that's going to help you place and sell Sound POS with your merchants, we'd love to know what your feedback is. If we do a ton right now, we do our own custom pricing sheets to help present, the immediate information to provide the answers of the features and the device capabilities to your merchants with your pricing right there on it. We have marketing pieces that you guys can use and videos that we've produced. What we're asking is, beyond these resources, what else would help? What else is going to help you guys thrive in the holiday season to get this placed if we haven't already addressed it or looked at it or have that resource available for you? I'd love to find a way to unmute this. I don't believe I have an easy way of doing that yet. I don't see any hands raised or anything either yet. And I'm going to assume, since nobody's, unless somebody's typing here, that we have hopefully enough resources immediately available for everybody. But again, if you guys have something unique to your business that we can do to help you, bring it to our attention. We want to make sure we can provide the right resources here for everybody. Oh, we have a question that came in, a couple questions. Perfect. Delivery integration is important for QSR. Yes. So the A920 would be the way to really accomplish that. That is a 4G, 3G Wi-Fi device. You would put a SIM card in there for your merchant to be able to utilize that through a cellular network. It actually can have 2 SIM cards, so there's even a backup one. Just kind of fun, unique information here to kind of tuck in your back pocket. But the other component to this is then you can take your order and be able to facilitate that credit card transaction at the door. This is a huge attribute because I've done credit card processing sales. If that allows your merchants to cut into their Moto transactions, lean on this device, right? Create that card present sale, eliminate that higher markup, that downgrade transaction by using this device. It's going to be a driving factor to help reduce costs that are beyond, your typical rate conversation. I know there's a lot of different features here that can also go into play for that, but I really do think that that's a great way to kind of help cut into the costs. And then of course, yes, your indication there, Hani, was for third parties like Uber Eats and DoorDash. Yes, it is really important. We don't advertise to be a restaurant point of sale. So quick serve is really just because of all the features here that you can see on the system. In fact, I will go to a piece here to kind of show you guys how the quick serve works really quickly. What we'll do is I'll just kind of give you a quick idea of how this operates. So little end of the meeting perk for anybody who's still hanging on here to kind of take a look at what this looks like at just a high level, and you can see how you could build an order. But we don't allow for modifiers that are completely custom. Really, anything that's going to be a modifier to an order will have to be programmed into this point of sale system. So just a quick piece here. I'm going to answer 2 quick questions here before I dive into this, aside from the PAX E-Series A920. If a customer has existing equipment, how do we know if it's compatible? We'll actually probably tackle that during the training process. I believe my implementation team has a better answer for that. Really, they have to be disconnected from any other pack store environment to be utilized, and I'm not sure what else goes into it just because of my level of technicality expertise. But the other question that came in was, does our system work with a cash discount program? So cash discount, as you can see, is local to the point of sale. You really don't need any third-party cash discount attributes or programs beyond what's in the system. You can program the rate directly here, and you can turn it on and off for your merchants directly. The same thing for surcharging. You can program that in when you're building the device in the pack store environment and then building the bar sheet into your merchant setup. So we train everybody through that piece as well. Yeah, cash discounting really is completely local to the point of sale through the entire inventory, and it can be toggled on and off, as you guys would be working with your merchants to do so. So quickly here to pivot to the example of a quick serve environment. Again, I'm going to sort of build a burrito, and immediately as I'm taking a customer's order, I can see that I can build, the different add-on items start to finish, from the smallest piece that would be part of an order, yes, no, or a particular possible item that somebody would do on here. So in this case, the burrito, am I going to add bacon? Yes, I love bacon. I can also add markups on these attributes because guacamole is extra, bacon, it's a little extra, it's a little bit more expensive. So some of these prices on my items are going to go up, specifically because this will be really utilized as a just build the order kind of setup here. So we'll just go cheddar cheese for me. I like, chicken, that sounds great. I'm gonna scroll here. Lettuce, I'm gonna do none. I don't like the lettuce, so I'm just gonna skip it all together. So jalapenos, none, right? You can decide how to build these orders specifically by putting in as many attributes for these orders as you need to. I'm gonna do submit. Now the fun thing about this is you can see the entire order here directly. Now the other thing that I like to mention on here is that if I decide, and you see this a lot at quick serve environments, my wife will get a taco and she's going to do no bacon. She'll do queso and pork and no lettuce. We got her order there, but all of a sudden I said, you know what? The pork sounds delicious. I'm going to quickly select that. My burrito, go to attributes. I'm just going to select pork and change it. And now that's changed. I do not have to scrub and rebuild the entire order. I can change any particular modifier that's programmed in here as an attribute, again, very quickly and easily. This is really nice because too many times you have to just start all over. We eliminate that from happening. Let's take a look here. And so simply, again, drinks are really easy. We do a couple of different ways depending upon how merchants do it. We can do the modifier by the syrup, by the size of the drink, or we can do, hey, I'm going to pick a cola, and then I can do my price increase based on the size of the drink here. So I'm just charging for the syrup based on the cup size. A couple of different ways to get that accomplished. So, and again, you can see the entire cost breakdown here for the merchant on the sales screen, all the way through to the very end of the transaction. So this is, to answer the question, how we accomplish modifiers for QSR in just this kind of environment. Obviously, we've got a ton of folks doing this, from everything for quick serve environments to food trucks and everything else in between. And now with that additional feature, you can connect with your Sound POS rep about just connecting a remote kitchen printer, and we can get those set up. We've got some great details about that to add. We are at our end time, and if you like, we can answer any additional questions if we want to keep going, but otherwise we can just obviously have those conversations with your Sound POS rep. Feel free to reach out to us. We are always happy to help and pretty accessible, so makes things really easy and simple to connect with. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. We hope everybody has a very safe holiday season, very successful holiday season. And feel free to bring us any questions, additional resources that you guys may need. We want to make sure you and your merchants have every ability of success and using the point of sale system to its highest capability. So much success to everybody, and thank you so much for your time.